and with another video. And today we are live streaming painting this chunky ass boy. I'm still trying to find the best angle for this, so bear with me as I get it working. But it is currently 5:41 in the morning, almost 6. I just woke up like 40 minutes ago, and yeah, I told myself that I got this new mount, so I was going to live stream today, and that's what we're going to do. Even though it's fucking early in the morning. So you're going to see me base this model, this 3D printed Death Guard. You're also going to see me paint him. So yeah, that's what we're going to do today. So we're going to get that all set up right here for you. I'm going to get this moved out of the way. Yeah, we'll go right here. It's fine. So I think I want to work on the base first, just because I'm not a big fan of. I used some Elmer's glue for the base, but it still hasn't really dried perfectly yet. So yeah, I mean, it's still pretty much dry. So I could just dry brush some colors over top of it. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna pull out a dry brush and the first layer of the coloring that I'm going to use and go from there. I also got to be quiet as well while I do this because everybody's still sleeping in the house. So let me start with the first color. We're going to start with Warp Lightning. And go from there. All right. I'll put this down first, and then we're gonna add some terrain bits to this model as well. I haven't decided exactly what I'm gonna use, but we'll figure it out as we go along. So I'm just going to do a quick dry brush of Warp Lightning over all of this. It's really not going to do too much, but it's going to give it the initial color that we're going for. Since this fully hasn't dried yet, like right here, I don't know if you can see that. I added way too much to it, and it's been sitting here for at least 24, 26 hours. We're just going to say fuck it and just paint over it. So yeah, we're going to work on the base first, and then I will go from there to adding like some terrain bits. Yeah, I'll add some terrain bits as we go along, but we're going to do multiple layers of this, of different colors, and go from there. I just wanted to start out with this initial green just because I like how it looks. And I want to kind of make this an oozing base. All right. Fuck, I forgot my water. 1 second. But I'm trying to talk quiet right now because it's fucking early in the morning. Um, I'm not trying to wake anybody else up. But I think we might just be kind of just hope for the best, really. Next, I'm going to put some malignant green from Speed Painter over all of it because I'm not a big fan of. I like the brown how it is, but I feel like I can make it a little bit dirtier. So we're just going to add a shit ton over it and let it dry, and then we'll move on to adding the other colors. But I got this Death Guard unit off of Etsy. A guy who was selling all of Death Guard models that he made. I don't know how he got the STL files and whatnot for it, but I don't know. I liked how it looked, and I have a few of these. I think these are the Dreadnoughts, and then I have a few Terminators, and then the regular sized. But these are the only bases that I really have for them. So I opted for this versus like a base like this because with how big he is, he just wouldn't fucking fit on this. And I wasn't about to have his feet hanging off half of the fucking base. So I opted for doing it this way. Even though it's going to take up a lot of room on my display shelf above me, it's still better than him not being properly based, you know? All right, let's see. So I want to cover up the white. So I think we're going to go back in with Warp Lightning, and I'm going to fucking fill in the white part heavily. So where's that brush that I just had? We're going to make it look like an oozing puddle back there. Well, I guess some of that fucking glue is still not set, but whatever. You know, I let this sit for fucking over 24 hours thinking that, oh yeah, it would be dried by now, but nope. So I think I'm going to have the puddle down here, and it's just going to kind of ooze forward down to the ground level. And then we'll do multiple layers of the greens in a lighter and lighter shade. So it gives you that, the contrast of, to make it brighter and brighter. And then from here, I'm just going to kind of snake. Hold up. Kind of snake off in different directions. It's almost like it's pooling right here, but then it kind of moves around. I'll go down right here too. So I can see it also going down this way as well. Kind of getting into the cracks. So yeah, I think that's a pretty good initial color. Now we just kind of sit and um, let it dry. All right. So now let's decide on what terrain piece we're going to use. So I'm thinking I have a bunch of dead bodies. I'm going to try and figure out what dead body I want to use. So let's see. I have a bunch of 3D printed guys. We have something like this. But with how big this base is, I feel like we could get away with, oops. I feel like we could get away with a bunch of different options, to be honest. Like we could do something like that. Or we could just go straight fucking hardcore with it and just add a dead body like this, you know. These are all like congregated into different masses of grossness, you know. I wonder how that would look. I think that, yeah, I think that would look okay. What else? I don't know if that's too big. Maybe facing them this way, but it would cover a lot of the detail right there. So maybe one right there. And then let's find some body parts. I have all these other like 3D printed little guys. So I might go with something like this. Maybe down there. Or we can even go with this one. Or this pile of heads. I don't know. How's that look? I think that fits. How do you think that looks so far? Is it too much? Maybe we should just go with one instead of the other. I don't know. Let me know. I have other terrain bits that I can add too. So we have some oozing mushrooms as well that we can add. So, you think we should go with something like, something like that, or something like that for the mushrooms for this guy? Or should we do, I have I think 3 or 4 different options. We got that mushroom too. Or I could go with the little Looney Tunes fucking mushroom. I might opt for one of these. You really can't see this that well. Let's see. I feel like this sitting right here is not going to work out because I'm never going to be able to paint the back of his body. So we might just have to opt for that. Maybe put that right there. I don't know. Yeah, I think that will work. And then we can add a few little mushroom caps. Let's say 1 or 2. We'll do a few mushroom caps. So we're gonna do 1, 2, 3. And then we could also add a little bit of like debris. Maybe we can do some like battlefield canisters as well. No, we're gonna go for, let's see. Let's get, where the fuck's the Nurglings? There we are. I got a container full of Nurglings. So let's, I don't think that would work. I might go for these two little guys. Maybe put them in the pool right there. Have like a mushroom right here. Have the dead body like right there. And then maybe add another mushroom right there. Mushroom right there. You think that looked good? And then we can add some battlefield grass around the edges and whatnot. I think that's what I'm going to go with. Just because this gives me enough room to actually paint like these dead bodies, since I have to get in the back and the front, you know. I was going to put them right there, but I'll be able to paint everything perfectly fine. So let's get out some glue and then we'll put it down. So I'm using extra thin cement, but I've added some sprue. So this is pretty much sprue glue at this point. Pretty thick shit. Thickish. I gotta get more of it because I'm running out. I want to make sure I add plenty. And then we'll get around the edges too. Make sure this shit glues perfectly fine. Oh, I'm gonna go right there. How's it going, kid? Koala kid. All right. So we add that right there, and we're just gonna make sure we stick the bitch on there perfectly fine. And then we'll do the same with the Nurglings. I'll just add a big old glob right here. We can just stick them on at their feet. Stick them right into the mud of it. So this is pretty much going to be like a swamp area. And then same thing with the mushrooms. I'll add one right here. Oops. Put that down right there. This is going to be hard to actually glue. Well, I appreciate that. It's still early in the morning, so I don't expect really too many people to show up, but I appreciate you coming in and chatting regardless. All right, now put that right there. So there. I think that looks pretty good. We'll definitely have a lot to do over the next couple hours of painting this guy. I'm going to let this stuff set for a minute, and then I'm going to continue with the base itself. I'm going to add some extra stuff like some puddles and whatnot, but this should set pretty quickly. And then once the base is done, we'll go ahead and start actually painting the model itself. So the next bit of stuff we're going to use, how's it going? we're going to use a mixture of AK puddles. It's for dioramas. We're going to put it in like, we're going to create almost like a marshy puddle up here and at the bottom. I'm going to mix this with some color. So we're going to put some of it in a little Play-Doh cup. I found these are really easy to use. And I'm going to mix it in with a bit of fluorescent green from the War Painter. And I'm going to put some malignant green in there as well to get a really nice consistency of like a swamp marsh-ish. And then I'm going to add some debris on there as well. I have a big old container filled with like rocks and salt and sand and all that. I also have, let me get it. I also have like extra stuff that I can add from here as well, like wood or rocks or whatnot. So we'll figure that out in a minute. First and foremost, I want this to kind of settle. So I guess we can kind of look at this and see what we want to use. So this is really marshy, so I guess we could probably incorporate a little bit of leafy greens in there. Not too much because we don't want it to look like it's growing, you know. We want it to look like it's a decaying mass. So some of this moss might work. I pretty much just, when I went on a walk with my girlfriend and our kids, I just grabbed this bucket and just kind of pick shit up on the side of the trail. Might add a little bit of little debris in there as well. And then I'm going to incorporate some of this sand. I don't want too big pieces, so I guess we'll do a little bit of the wood. So, yeah. Make sure this stuff is setting on here pretty good. All right. I'm going to put all this debris on this little napkin right here. Well, I appreciate that. The only problem that I find with this is it takes a while for it to actually fucking settle. So the glue and whatnot takes a while to set. So it's like I want to rush this, but I can't, you know. But you add to make the puddles and to make like the swampy area, you add some AK in there. And then we're going to add a little bit of this fluorescent green, not too much because we don't want to completely turn it. So like 3 drops. And then we'll add some of this malignant green as well to kind of give it that swampy-ish color. So now we'll mix this together. It gives it that nice, see, that nice swampy color. Oops, just got some on my fucking shirt. All right. And once this dries too, it will look less green. All right. And as this dries too, because this is going to take a while for um, this is going to take a while for it to dry properly. Um, but what you can do to make it more realistic, almost like a water effects, you can blow onto it with a straw, and it will create like little ripples on um, the ground. I want to make it thicker down here just because um, the idea of it, falling and coming out of the cracks. So we're going to add a bunch down there too. Hold up. There we go. Get back there behind the nurglings. All right. I think that, well, we'll add a little bit more over there too. Might as well get the backside. Might as well use the rest of it. All right. So while this is drying, we can add, I'm going to have to put this over I'm going to have to put this over the damn trash, but we'll add a little bit of debris. So break up some of this wood. Where's that moss at? Get some of this moss in here. Let me get my add a little bit right there. We might not go with that. It's too much. That one's a little bit too big too. And then we're going to pick this up. And then we're going to sprinkle on some sand onto it as well. All right, hold up. Ooh. There we go. Throw this away. And then we'll set that right there for now. Put this back. And basically the final touch when it comes to the base, I'm still going to keep painting it, but I got to let this shit dry. So I'm going to just move on and actually go about painting this. But to end it all off, I'm pretty much going to add some battlefield terrain. And I'm going to paint the puddles, the green streak, how I did. I'm going to get it lighter and lighter so it looks like an oozing, mass. But starting with this guy, since this is a 3D print, you see all these extra little bits. I have to get this stuff off because I never went and did that. So let me get my better clippers and get off all this extra stuff. I might actually have to pull out my knife to get it all. Yeah, this came in like one big ass mass when I got it in the mail. So it was just one big complete piece. So I can't tell if that is a part of it or not. This little dangly bit. I don't think so. All right, where else? This fucking arm piece. I think these are part of it. They look like they're a part of it. Wait, that's definitely not. Yeah, those aren't a part of it at all. Come on, damn it. Hold up, I need a towel. I didn't realize how messy it was. All right, I think that's good for now. If I find any more, I will come back over it and remove the rest. But I think we should get moving on to actually painting this guy. So let's do that. Let's pull out the paint, get the heads, my light out. One second. And get this party started. So this guy is a big old mass of a lot of different things. So honestly, I think I'm going to just start with the bronze and any of like the gold trimmings. And then we'll move on to the actual armor. Fucking whatever armor I could find. And then a lot of this is like fleshy bits. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. So let's get out our first color that we're going to use. And I feel like he deserves a darker bronze. So I think we're gonna go with brass scorpion for this one. Add a little bit to the wet palette. And I'm going to use a larger brush for this. So I have a Kolinsky Sable Series 7 or Series 8, sorry, brush. I got these off of fucking this website in the United Kingdom, and I had them personally shipped to me. These are any kind of Kolinsky brush is really, really good. I highly recommend it. If you decide you want to paint, synthetic brushes have their own charm and they work out really well too. But I prefer the Kolinsky brushes, to be honest. So I'm going to try and find the best angle to do this in, but it's going to be difficult because I like to have the model close up to me, but since I have my phone in an awkward ass angle, it's kind of difficult. So I don't know. I'm gonna try my best to get this done today. I have like a while. It's only 6:16 in the morning, so we have definitely a lot of time to work with this. But I can't guarantee anything with how large this model actually is. Normally, models like this take me, I would say, 5 to 6 hours. That is extra bits. But we'll see. This one's going to be hard because it's, I'm going to move my phone back. There's so much going on with this model that it's hard to keep track of exactly what to paint. There's so much flesh mixed with armor, mixed with trim, that it's really, really difficult to try and know exactly what color to put where. I'm just going based on like other Death Guard units that I've done in the past. And usually the shoulder pads are usually bronze, you know, bronze, brass, copper, whatever you want to paint them. Get underneath there too. All right. Try and get under this fucking shoulder pad is difficult without touching anything else. All right, hold up. I have to figure out a better method for this. You let me know how this is, what you prefer. I'm still trying to find the best angle for this stuff, but it's difficult. God damn it. Hi, Bubs. Yeah, this angle sucks ass too. Um, so I just bought this new phone mount. That's why I'm actually live streaming today. Um, I normally haven't been live streaming just because the mount that I had and I've owned for a while just generally sucks ass. And it's not able to, it's not long enough, and it was never able to clip on into anything. So I got this one in hopes of it working out, but I'm struggling right now to try and find the best angle to position everything so you guys can actually see me painting the model properly without losing any of the detail or like with it being out of, camera range and whatnot. But I think I'm just going to have to deal with the fact that um, at some points during this, I'm not going to be able to keep it perfectly in um, camera perspective. So I apologize in advance if you really can't see much of what I'm doing. Feel free if you're willing to comment on the video or on the live stream in the comments. Let me know what you prefer and how the angle is. If you think it's fine, can you see everything correctly when I'm rotating and moving the model in every which fucking way? How is that? Oops. Otherwise, if I don't get any kind of like um, response to how this is working, then I will just continue how it is. Let's see, get. Ooh, how did that get on there? Get on his shoulder. I don't know how that got on his shoulder, but whatever. Well, it looks like somebody else decided to wake up, and that would be our cat. So, yeah, I have another friend to join me this early in the morning. But I haven't really been live streaming much. This is actually my first live stream in over, I think over a month and a half at this point. Um, for one, it's just, like I said, the camera is hard and difficult to angle properly. And two, I got burnt out of live streaming, to be honest. All right, let's get the bottom of his leg. So I'm still trying to figure out exactly how I want to paint the skin on this guy. Um, oh fuck. Do you see this? Maybe I should stop actually touching the guy. I feel like I'm gonna end up removing him from the fucking base itself. Oops. Maybe I did start painting this guy a little bit prematurely. I've had that happen before. I've had them fall off the fucking base while painting them. So if that happens at any point in time, then I'll probably have to end this stream and let it dry more. I can't be in a hurry. Honestly, if it does happen, I don't think I'll end the stream. I will just go off and paint something else, to be honest, because that would be unfair for everyone else. Get under there. All right, we're getting there, slowly but surely. Add a little bit of water. This paint's getting a little bit too dry. Damn, I'm trying to fucking get into here, but fuck, it's hard. All right, look at that. So far, the bronze is coming along nicely. I'm gonna have to go over it again though, because it's not quite there. I just gotta find. I'm gonna end up fucking missing some of these, like bits, like this weapon up here. I didn't even fucking see this trim until just a second ago. See it like this. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? It's like a fucking brain. I didn't even see this. And this is why I love fucking 3D printed models. GW would never do shit like this. I mean, look at the detail in there. It's fucking crazy how much detail you can get in just a little bit of, you know, fucking people doing other things. So I have almost every single Death Guard unit. Besides the Death Shroud Terminators, I don't have those, but I have almost every single Death Guard guy that GW has ever released, and I've painted them. Um, I'm working on the Nurgles right now, or the Nurgle unit roster. I don't actually play the game. I've never participated in any kind of game itself, but I thoroughly and absolutely am 100% invested in the painting aspect of this. I've already decided that this would be my hobby for the rest of my life. I started in January of this year, and I have painted 221 models so far. That's what I've painted in 1 year. I've pretty much painted a model a day, sometimes less, but for the most part, I've painted every single day since I got into this hobby. And I enjoy GW's model line. I really do. I enjoy the Death Guard units that they offer, but at the same time, I want different things, different models to paint. And that's why I leaned heavily on 3D printing off of Etsy. Um, I will actually show you while some of this dries. Give me a second. So, this is, I'm going to show you a few examples. So I have 3 of these dreadnoughts. These are Death Guard dreadnoughts that I got off of Etsy. Oh fuck. I'll show you a couple more that I own. So I own this one. His arms are kind of a pain in the ass to get on, but this is one of the guys that I have. I don't know how well you can see that. Here is another dreadnought that the arms just came off. He has another cannon on his head too with his gun. Then I have these Death Guard Terminators, these 3D printed guys, and oh, they just look fucking fantastic. I love how they look. Here's another one with the big ass scythe. And then one of my favorites is this guy. Ooh, I can't wait to paint him. He's just like holding this body in the air. And GW fucking, for all of their amazing ability to come out with new models, can't fucking compare to some of these people. Here's another one of a guy throwing a fucking fireball. And then here is just a regular Death Guard unit. This is just a regular Death Guard. This is the Terminator, and that's the Dreadnought by comparison. So you can really see the difference in terms of their scale. And then, yeah, so until GW decides to release more Death Guard units, I think I'm just going to continue with 3D printed stuff. Just because, like I said, it's perfect for what I'm trying to do and what I'm trying to paint. I love Death Guard, and I hope to fucking have an entire wall filled with a 10,000 point army of Death Guard in the future. That's my goal, and that's what I'm going to work towards. It's always something. I think the biggest thing that I like is it's always something new with the fleshy bits. You can never, I mean, Space Marines themselves are fine. I mean, I love painting my flesh terrors. That's the chapter that I paint for my Space Marines. But they're all uniform. They're all the same. You can change up the color scheme a little bit. You can change up how they look. Oh, fuck. Yep, we got to hold it like that. You can change up, a little bit of the colors and add like different art styles to it. But for the most part, they're going to remain the same. They just, the fucking armor, the head can be a little bit different, but the weapon may change. But ultimately, it's still a Space Marine. But with the Death Guard, you have so much fucking potential for like what you're able to paint, just like you look at this And I don't see anything else that GW has ever released that comes close to this level of fucking detail. And I don't know, they're all unique, they're all different, and they're all a challenge in their own way. This one's going to be a challenge for all the fleshy bits. I have no idea how the fuck I'm going to do that. There's so much fleshy parts on this body. I don't know where they start and I don't know where they end. So I'm going to have to figure all that out in due time. But for now, we're just going to continue with the brass and go from there. After this model, we will be painting. I have a rotation of models that I paint. I go from custodies to orcs to Tyranids to my flesh terrors to plague bearers and then death guard. And then I do squigs and um, Gretchen, and that's my rotation right now. So after this, I have a gold custodies that I need to paint. Um, but at this rate, I might be on this one for a while. Ooh. I also resubscribed to World of Warcraft for the first time since August 2024. I got the War Within expansion, and my dumbass. So it came with a level 80 character boost, you know, and I'm a big sucker when it comes to the campaign. So I thought, I would just use the level 80 boost and boost my character up, and then I could just go straight into the campaign. How I was fucking wrong. I did not realize that when you boosted your character on World of Warcraft, that it skips most of the fucking story. So I was like, that's fucking stupid. Um, so I spent the better part of 4 hours yesterday trying to figure out how the fuck I would go about doing the story. And I couldn't figure it out. I even fucking asked Reddit to help me out. And they said that once I boosted my character, it pretty much skips the beginning part of the story, since the beginning part of the story is supposed to level you up from 70 to 80. But so I think I'm going to have to go on my Warlock today at some point and actually do the story campaign first before I go back on my Warrior and fuck around on that. Which, I mean, it is what it is. It's unfortunate, but what can you do, right? Shit happens. I've never been a really big knowledgeable guy when it comes to World of Warcraft. I never really played it as a kid or growing up. I only saw it as that like mystical game that everybody plays, and I wanted to be a part of it. So I've played the game a couple times throughout the years. Like when the Dragon Isles came out, I played that expansion like the same week I beat the fucking first part of the expansion. But then I didn't realize that the campaign comes out in sections, because before that I never really touched World of Warcraft in any meaningful way. So I was like, fuck, what do I do now? I don't want to fucking sit here just doing the same quest over and over. So I moved to Shadowlands and I started playing the Shadowlands campaign. And the same thing happened. I got all the way through it and I got stuck. And I couldn't figure out how to move on with the campaign. So I fucked around on Shadowlands for about a week after that and just doing world quests and whatnot. And eventually I got tired of that and I just moved on, or I stopped playing the game altogether. And that's where I stopped. When I logged into the game, I was initially in Shadowlands until I used my level 80 boost, and then it fucking teleported my ass to the new zone. I don't even know what the fuck the the big ass city, dwarven city is. Um, but I did like 50 quests last night before I went to bed. So I think today, after I'm done painting this model, we're going to um, start up the campaign again, or actually start it up for once on my Warlock and play through it, and then kind of go from there and figure out what I want to do. I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos about this to try and figure out exactly how I'm going to go about doing all this stuff. Okay, but let's skip that and move on to the next part. And the next part is figuring out what fucking color to do. Because I don't know if you can see this. Let me clear off my dry brush. I don't know if you can see this, but remember how I said that I don't know where the armor begins and the fucking flesh begins? Um, yeah. Um, um, I think I'm gonna start with the fleshy bits. I feel like I could get that. I feel like I could do that easier versus trying to paint the armor. So I want to, I think, let's see how I want to do this. Let's figure out what skin I want to do. Let me think real quick. All right, I'm going to look up a video real quick. What did I do? What colors did I use? So I did purple. I think we're going to do a mix of Nagaroth Night. Let me clean my area up a bit first. Put some of this stuff away. So I think I'm going to use let's see. What was the skin color? I got to go back to my video, one of my old videos, and see. Give me a second, guys. I've already completely forgotten. It was a mixture of purple, Nagaroth Night. Oh, Rhinox Hide. That's what it was. I'm an idiot. All right. I got it figured out now. I know what I'm going to do. So we're going to do equal parts of Rhinox Hide and then Nagaroth Night. Two little drips right there. Grab my brush. Get a little tickle the water, and then we're going to mix an equal part of all right. So yeah, we're going to do an equal part of Nagaroth Night and Rhinox Hide, and we're going to put a purplish color on his body over all of the fucking skin. So this is going to take a while. So I'm letting you know that now. So be prepared for multiple layers. This will probably take the longest part. I'm going to put this right here. I want to set this up a little bit better. So yeah, we're going to start off with we're going to do an equal mixture of Renix hide and Nagaroth Night. I'm going to need a lot of color for this. Trust me, it doesn't look like this should match, but it will. I promise you. This will match perfectly when I'm all done. There's a lot of layers, a lot of different bits we got to do, but it will be fine. All right. So fleshy bits in this head, we're going to just paint his whole interior of this the same color because he's going to God damn, this is hard to angle properly. All right. I can't even tell what the fuck this part of his body is, to be honest. We need a lot more color. All right. God, I can't tell what a lot of this is. I'm just gonna guess. All right. Oh, how's it going, Francis? Damn, I didn't even see you were in here. Sorry. I was busy trying to fucking figure out what exactly is flesh on this fucking arm. I'm just struggling here, man, trying to fucking actually paint this and figure out where's arm and where's cannon. But how you doing? I haven't heard from you in a long time. Well, then again, I haven't been live streaming either, so I guess that's only natural. You know what I'm saying? Damn, this is. Hey, that's nice. I bet you had a good time with him or her. Yeah, me and the fam, or me and girlfriend and her went to a get family, or not really a family get together. Well, a friend get together yesterday. And that was the first time that we've really done anything with a lot of people in a while, and that was fun too. God damn, this is hard. This whole model is. Alright. God, there's so many fucking fleshy bits on this arm. Alright, well, we got a little bit of the arm done, sort of. Trying to, at least. We're going to get this big ass cannon at the top of his head next. Oops, need to pull my sleeve up. So this is the same skin tone that I did for my Light Kings. And I really liked how it came out. And I feel like I did a really good job at it. So I'm going to replicate it on here. Even though this is going to be tremendously more difficult to replicate just because there's a lot more armor and a lot more ways to fuck it up. We're going to attempt it and try our best. It's like a big ass brain on the top of his head. It makes me think of like a dead servitor or a psyker, maybe a navigator whose brain was extracted to use for this cannon. I wouldn't put it past Nurgle to do something like that. kind of hard to get that, but maybe I should have just started with this before I did the bronze. Oh well. All right, let's get this fucking mass of something on his back. Oh. Ooh, how did we see this? Jeez, man. I'm gonna have to pull out some more paint. Yeah, this fucking guy's. Oh, my lord. He has so much. So much flesh. All right, I need to pull out some more gold. Or not gold, purple. What the fuck am I saying? God, it's so hard to know exactly what's what right now. Um, God, this is the most reasonable, like, flesh bits on his feet that I've seen so far. Now I'm just going to go back over everything that I may have missed and kind of clean it up and add more paint to the areas that I haven't gone over. All right. Yeah, okay, never mind. We have more. Might as well just fucking go over everything again and again and again and again and again until we've realized that we have everything and we've painted all the flesh. That is a hair. All right. Oh, wait. Nope. See? I always miss spots. His fucking foot. I was about to call it quits. Oh. Oh, fuck, guys. We're getting there. Slowly but surely. All right, what am I missing? Am I missing anything? I say that every time and I always find new stuff. All right, am I missing anything? All right, now we're gonna let that dry. All right, we're gonna pause for a minute. I'm gonna pull out the next color, which is gonna be red. We're gonna do the cowl. We're trying to get the cowl right now. Oh, there's a I don't think there's any more that needs red, to be honest. I'm going to go over this cowl again in the front just because. All right, so all right, we're going to switch to a smaller brush now that we're getting into the. Ooh, not a 0. We get a 1. Where's the 1 at? No, that's not a 1. That's not a 1. There's the 1. I think this is coming along great, guys. I'm having fun. I'm in the groove of things right now. We are getting it. I'm not tired. I'm not wanting to quit. So we're fucking rolling right now. I'm just watching some Asmongold on YouTube, some of his old World of Warcraft stuff. Now that I started playing World of Warcraft again, I'm trying to learn some more about it. But now we have to do all of the bone and all the white areas and shit. All right. Here we go. We got to get the Nurglings and everything white too. This might take a little bit longer because I have to be more precise with this white. So don't expect me to really be talking much, guys. Just because this part is really delicate. Now I'm gonna get with all the white. I'm gonna get all of the fucking horns. I haven't even gotten to like layering any of the colors, guys. That's where we're at right now. I haven't layered a single thing. This is just the base colors. Just the fucking base. Oh, da 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 da. Look at how many fucking horns this guy has. Whoa, what just happened to my phone? All right, next video. I'm gonna have to glue his feet on here better, guys. Thankfully, he hasn't fallen off, but it's only a matter of time. I'm trying to hold him on here. Oh, man. Ah. All right. I'm going to paint the nurglings now. How's it going? Yo, how's it going, Drew? It's my first time live streaming in a while, man. I'm just trying to paint the nurglings, and yeah, I woke up at like 4 o'clock. I woke up at 5 this morning and I decided I wanted to actually paint this fucking thing. And I got this new mount for my phone, so I was willing to live stream for once. My other phone mount broke, so I haven't been able to hold my phone up in any way to be able to live stream properly. Yeah, I've been doing this for now about 2 hours, and I'm just getting the first layers done. I got a lot of the first layering done. Yeah, I probably should, to be honest. I need to figure it out on my phone. Um, um, yeah, I probably would get a lot more viewers on Twitch. I just have to figure out how I can live stream on both since I'm using my phone, you know. I wonder if I can, I wonder how I can do that. I wonder if I can live stream at the same time on my phone. I would probably have to get OBS open on my phone if that's even a thing, but I have no idea. Um, I wonder if I can actually do that. Let me wait while this dries. How to live, let's see, stream, Twitch, YouTube, phone, phone, same time. Live streaming twice, two platforms. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I'll have to figure it out. I don't know if I'm capable of doing that on both, to be honest. Hmm. I want to see something. I will be back.